Got it. And then I'll open this up to you guys too. Like of your peer group, of your friends or women, like, what would you say their body count is?
I mean, from like friends, I think I hear like a lot of like 7s, like definitely less than 10 for a lot of the people I know.
We don't really talk about it because like we don't care.
Sure.
We don't really talk about it.
For me, with my friends,
If you talk about it.
we do talk about it. It's like less than 10. Yeah.
Okay.
My friends and I talk about sex a lot. Actually, it's our favorite topic.
Oh my
It's
God.
just fun to talk about it. But yeah.
You don't have to name names.
Oh,
but
no, I'm not.
What
I'm
would
not
you say,
going
like
to.
the average range, if you had to guess, of either your peer group or kind of women in your age range? What would you say?
I see that it like varies a lot from where you're from, I think, and like just where you grew up. Like some people who are like near like party schools or something, they're probably going to be higher just because they've been more exposed to like hookup culture.
Let's say people in Santa Barbara, Isla Vista.
Like 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Esther?
We don't really talk about that.
Okay. Yukina?
I personally talk about a lot. But like I talk to people who not gonna judge me. I can trust my friends, and then like especially Japanese people are really judgmental, so I never talk about it. But here I talk. I can say.
Okay. So I need to give my take on the whole body count thing because I need to come in here. So I do think body count matters. I think it should matter. And I can give you guys a couple of reasons why. So, and I do think it's different between men and women because I don't think that there's a symmetry between what women want in men and what men want in women, or the preferences, boundaries, and standards that men have are different than the ones women have. So I think a big thing for men, and I think this has really been the case throughout all of human history, and I still think even to this day, men value sexual purity in women. Now, purity could mean virginity, but it could also just mean not being a hoe, not being the town bicycle. So men, that is a big thing for men. If there might be some men, you might have some guy friends who might say, I don't care about that. They might be lying. And obviously it depends. Like for a long-term relationship, for marriage, most men are not going to want to marry the town bicycle. They're not going to want to marry a woman don't get me wrong. There's plenty of simps out there that are going to accept you as you come, but most men are going to have a very serious issue taking you seriously if you have a promiscuous past.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does anybody want to come in? I maybe saw a couple eyebrow raises.
What's the question exactly?
Well, I'm just giving you my take.
Oh.
Yeah. If you have a response to it, you're welcome to
That
come in
men
because,
don't wanna...
well, because my position sort of is different than yours. So I don't know if you have a rebuttal or if you have an issue with anything I've just said. I can give you some more reasons.
Yeah, can you just keep going?
Yeah,
Honestly.
sure. I'll keep going. So, there's a couple reasons why body count should matter. It was already kind of brought up. There's the STD thing. Someone who's more promiscuous is more likely to have an STD.
True.
So if you've slept with more people.
That's not true at all, actually.
If you've slept with more people, it's not true.
It's not always directly tied because some people who sleep around a lot use protection every time, right? People who sleep with their partners.
You can still get an STD.
Yeah, you totally can. But a lot of people.
Yeah, if you've only had one partner, you've only slept with one person, you can still get an STD.
Yeah.
Maybe there's infidelity. Maybe it was dormant or, whatever. Maybe. So sure. But generally speaking, I would say the more sexual partners you've had,
you could be more susceptible.
The likelihood that you're going to get an STD or will have an STD is increased.
Yes, but there's so many factors that go into it that it's not just a direct correlation.
They've done studies on it, and
I know they're doing more too.
The higher your body count, the more partners you've had, the greater likelihood of getting an STD.
But it's not always about getting an STD. It's about one, you can get an STD, but they might also just be more likely to know they have an STD because they're getting more regularly checked. Except for the girl who has a boyfriend, they've been fucking for years, and she goes 2 years without knowing she has chlamydia because he cheated on her in the beginning of the relationship, and she never thought to get tested.
That's a possibility.
So it's like...
It's a possibility.
It just goes
But
both
I mean,
ways.
if you had to compare the two, you're much, I mean, if you're sleeping with 3 new people a week, the likelihood of you getting an STD is going to be greater than if you're in a committed long-term relationship.
That's what I'm saying. It can, but it also...
But, so I'm speaking in generalities. I'm
I
not
know.
saying that it's impossible,
Mhm.
but the exception does not make the rule.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
But just even like, not even just based on numbers research, even based on the people I know, strangely enough, I don't know, not going for men, 'cause I don't really talk to many men about it, but like a lot of the women I know, the less promiscuous they are, the bigger run-ins they've had with STDs. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
Like I said, I mean, the exceptions,
Yeah. It could also
Doesn't
just
make
be
the
from
rule.
being out here, and for some reason people in relationships get tore up with STDs more often than people not, but I don't know.
yeah. I mean, and the other thing too is, I mean, yeah, you can say, well, I'll get STD tests, but I mean, most people, I'd say vast majority of people are not getting full panel STD tests.
Oh, like herpes and things like that.
Yeah, maybe like often if you ask to get STD tested, they're not testing for everything. And then there's also
Yes.
some STDs that aren't going to show up until later on down the road.
Or you're supposed to wait 2 to 3 weeks before
Yeah.
after your partner. It's a problem a lot of people also don't do.
Yeah, I mean, HIV. That there's some other ones that can kind of
Syphilis. Yeah.
show up much further down the road.
Mhm.
So, and also people are fucking without condoms. Like, so there's all kinds of.
Yep.
So there's the STD thing. Also, it's just if someone. Okay, so for me personally, the thought of sleeping with a new girl and she's sleeping with another guy, I find that disgusting.
Yeah. A lot
I'm
of
gonna
people
I'm
do.
gonna hook up with you and you fucked a guy the night before. Like, that to me is just gross.
Reasonably so.
So if someone is promiscuous, that's more likely to be the case. Whereas if you have a low body count, you only have sex with one person at a time, then
But you're forgetting the people that they're introduced to, though.
what do you mean?
So, like, say, yeah, it's nasty if you fucked this girl and the next day, or this girl got fucked yesterday and then you go fuck her tonight, right? That's
Mhm.
nasty. But what if instead you choose the girl who you're like, oh, no, this girl, like, she must have a low body count, like, she's clean, like, da-da-da-da. But then now you could be the dirty one getting
Sure,
introduced
yeah,
to her.
guys
And all it takes is just one
Yeah.
dirty peen or dirty cooch, and then your whole apartment's affected. I don't know, but like, like it goes so quickly. Like people don't realize how quick. That's why it's both sides.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to make it clear, women can also have a not want to date a guy who's promiscuous. Maybe you guys know, like, kind of a naive girl who's maybe a bit inexperienced when it comes to dating. Like, you probably wouldn't want to set her up with the player guy, the guy who's like probably just going to hook up with her once. Like, you wouldn't want to set her up with that kind of guy. So you'd maybe want to set her up with a guy who he himself isn't a big player guy. He's got lower body count himself. So I think it's perfectly reasonable for women to so I don't want to make this seem like it's a double standard, because I mean there certainly is a double standard, and some of it is, I would say, to some degree justified, but men are big upped if they sleep with a lot of women. You're a stud. Whereas if a woman sleeps with a lot of men, she's a slut. So there's a double standard there. I think that there are reasons for why that is. One of the reasons would be it's far easier for women to get laid than it is for men to get laid. I think that's one of the big reasons. It's not impressive for a woman. Like, if a woman's like, I've slept with 100 men. It's like, okay, that's easy. Congrats. Like, it's not hard for you to do that. Any single girl here at this panel could walk outside this building right now and fuck a guy tonight if you were so inclined. Either from a dating app, or you could probably just walk up to a dude on the street, say, hey, do you want to fuck? And the guy's going to be like, okay, let's go. Most guys are like, no guy can really pull that off. So it's more difficult for men to get laid. You disagree?
Yeah, I guess yes, it's more difficult for a man to get laid, but especially being a bartender out here, like I see women throw themselves. Like I literally, no offense to all of us, we're obviously not, and it's a stereotype, but like Santa Barbara, Isla Vista, it's like kind of a sea of a lot of easy women. That's why when there is creep men out here, I'm like, bro, there's so many easy options out here. Like you really got to go creep on somebody who doesn't want you, and I can look at 5 girls right now who, if you bought them one drink, would go home with you in an instant. Like that's why their body counts are so high, because it's as easy for them too, and they just do it. We don't.
Well, I would say women are kind of easy for very attractive men, the top tier men.
I'm saying, I mean, maybe it's different because I'm in a place of alcohol, so
right.
it does screw things a little bit.
Sure.
But you don't have to, as long as you don't. I think the bigger thing about men is not even attractive level, is as long as you don't stink, look like a creep or a weirdo, and you're just like not a mess, then
that's it.
That's
honestly all it takes.
There's a lot of easy girls out there too. Like there's easy dudes, there's easy girls, and a lot of them meet on the weekends at the club I work at, and I watch it go down. So I'm sure that there are tons of hookups going on, whether out here in Isla Vista at the party or downtown at the bars and clubs. Of course, people are hooking up willy-nilly. I mean, I'm not sure though how much you're paying attention, but is it plausible that these people already know each other? No.
Strangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I see
I know that
it
happens.
blossom a lot of time, but it's usually just because they're really drunk. I think it is alcohol is the main verdict half the time,
Sure.
but no, yeah, like these, yeah, it's not as hard for men as I realized, especially going downtown.
It's pretty hard still for guys to get laid.
Maybe if you want to do it in a sensible way, like in a respectable manner, sure. But if you don't care and you're just really trying to get laid, go up to any girl who's not a 10, get her 2 drinks.
9? I think we should just like stop saying like they're easy. I think like it's just some people are more willing to have sex, and also like, well, it's just like it's really like not like, oh, they're easy, they're a slut, they have like a high body count and stuff. It's just like some people, like when you get to a certain age, you like have just experienced like a lot of things, like a lot of sex, whatever, and so you're at the stage where it's easy, where it's like more simple and you don't have to like think about it a lot, and then like be able to go into sex. I mean, like at our age, I think it's kind of hard to say like, yeah, like every day I'd be open to sex, because I mean there's a lot of factors playing into it. Like a lot of girls my age are still looking for like that like perfect like boy, like that are gonna like sweep them off their feet and like fall in love. Like that's still a thing. And then there's some people who have like just been in the game for a while, and they're at the position where they feel mature enough to feel like they can have sex. Like,
yeah, but I think I get it, because it's like the whole terminology thing, like, you know, slut shaming, like not trying to do that and stuff, but like it just comes down to it, is there's some people who are easier to sleep with, and there's some people that are harder. Some people you just need to get them a drink, or you just need to say hello, hi, and there's some people who you need to take them out on dates, or you need to do that. It's just because easy has a negative connotation to it, but it's plain and simple. It's easier to fuck them than it is easier than maybe to fuck you know.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
I agree with you. There are some people, I mean, on the whole, using the word easy, there are some people where it's easier to have sex with them than someone else. Some people are...
Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just, you know, you can hit up Sarah if you want a quick night, or you can hit up
Kiki
if you need to take on a few dates. You know?
Yeah, she got put a ring on her finger.
Yeah, those knees she can't wreck them anymore.
Yeah, okay. So